Hello everybody and welcome to Conan Exiles Gaming. Imp1way here with a new series here for the channel. This is part 1 of my Conan series on the PS4. This is a beginner's guide of how to get the game started. So this will be like the first 20 minutes of gameplay for you. We're going to get in here and start doing this here. We're going to start with the male character, and you can go in and detail this guy tremendously. So you can kind of randomize them and kind of just pick what you're going to get here. And I think we'll do a little bit of randomizing, come up with something fairly decent that I'll find acceptable. And I kind of like the way that one looks. We'll stick with that. Okay, so we've skipped all of the intro stuff. There's a whole bunch of intro stuff in the game. We're going to skip all of that. You guys can kind of go see that and take a look at that when you start up the game on your own. We are going to go ahead and jump into our gameplay now. I would say that the most important things to do as far as this game goes in the beginning is following your journey. Up in the top right hand corner, you could see on the PS4 it is also the left D-pad, and that will open up your journey and you'll see your different chapters. This is the important stuff that you need to kind of do first, and you'll see the journeys here as climb, drink, eat, use a bed or bedroll, clothe yourself, slay, craft a tool, find signs of intelligent life, kick, and then dodge. So going through the chapters is going to be your most important thing, and until you finish one chapter you cannot unlock another, although you can do pieces of the journey for those other chapters without unlocking it. You just can't see what's next, but you will be able to complete them, and they will show up once they're completed. However, going through here and doing these first are the kind of biggest things. So you want to start off and you want to go around and just harvest as much as you possibly can. You're going to discover the broken highway. Anything that you discover also kind of gives you points as well. And you just want to pick up whatever you can along the way. And you're going to also read the obelisk here. You're going to kind of interact with it. You hold down, you kind of tap the square and it interacts. And that gives you your first journey piece, find signs of intelligent life. And you'll hear a whole bunch of monologue here from this. If you want to listen, you can. We're going to kind of move along. The next step that you want to kind of jump into here for this is going to be the climb. So you're going to go ahead up to this piece here. You're going to push up and you're going to hold the X and just climb. And you're going to climb up, and then you're able to kind of get that piece of your journey done. And you've already leveled up one. So let's stop and take a look at that here for a quick second. When you level up, you do gain attributes. If you go into your menu by pressing the touchpad in the middle, you'll get into here. R2 and L2 kind of move the menus back and forth. R2 over to attributes, and you see you have unspent points. You can put those points into wherever you want to go. Depending what kind of game you're playing, I chose to start my own offline game here because I couldn't find a suitable server that kind of kept things very basic. Everything was either like 5 times or 10 times harvest, and that kind of, I mean, you can jump into those and it definitely helps if you're trying to do a build type of thing, if you're in PvE, but then there's also PvP, depending on what kind of player you are, is how you're going to spend your attribute points. I tend to do PvE, and I always put them into encumbrance right away so that I can get my carrying weight up as much as possible. So now we're going to kind of run up along here, and we're going to continue to pick things up. Quickly on the right side here, there is a very important piece. It's very easy to miss if you've never played the game before. There's a little water skin and a piece of journal here to read as well. And again, some more monologue where you can kind of listen, and there's a little bit of a caption there at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you pick that up and read it. Gives you experience points, and then make sure you pick up the water skin as well, and that will go into your wheel. So your quick wheel is L1. If you press that down, you'll see your wheel here, and this is kind of where you can kind of grab your stuff from your radial menu. It looks like it didn't put our water skin in, so we're going to go ahead and drop that in. To do that, you're going to press the middle touchpad. You're going to D-pad over to your water skin. You're going to hold the L1 key down in order to select that, and then you just kind of push up on the right stick to place the water skin where you want to place it. And this goes for any tool or weapon that you're going to place into your radial menu. Then you press X, and it kind of places it there, and now it's there permanently, right? So that's kind of what we have there. We're going to continue going around here and picking up some more stuff, whatever we can, rocks and stuff. And we got some more rocks over here, some more stones. I don't know how many we have just yet. We have 11, so we're doing pretty good there. But you also want to kind of come over and take a look here. Here's the impaled skeleton. And yeah, so it kind of gives you a description of what it is. And again, these things kind of give you a little bit of a experience points. So you definitely want to jump on those and do them if you can. So we're going to go ahead and go harvest some plant fiber here. This picks up plant fiber, this picks up seeds. Pressing the square key will do that. It'll interact and you'll pick up plant fibers. Also picks up insects and seeds as well. The insects are good to eat, and the seeds can be used later on for other things, which we will get into when the time comes as far as that goes. So we're going to just kind of continue on here. We're going to pick up as much stuff as we possibly can in doing our journey here. We're going to work on a couple of things though. So now we have some insects. We're going to, in order to use this, if you hold down the L1 key and go into your radial menu, if you drop down over the insects and then let go of the R1, it kind of interacts with that and uses that item. Here you can see that I've used my, I've done my journey for eat, my journey step for eat there, and that's gone off of my menu in the top right. Now I have drink as well, so we might as well do that. We'll push up on the right stick there and drink, and now we've gained a level, and we've also completed another piece of my journey here in drink. So now we have another level. And we have a couple of pieces here. We're going to go over to our attributes. We have one more attribute point that we're able to kind of spend. And I'm going to go ahead and put that into encumbrance again. We want to get that encumbrance way up. Because again, we're doing PvE here. So we're not really worried about fighting other players. So we're going to just kind of continue along here and grab as much of this stuff as we possibly can. Because there are other things we need to do, like use a bedroll. We'll do that next. And we're going to clothe ourselves too. And then we'll get into a little bit more advanced stuff as well when we kind of come back from this. I'm going to move along a little bit. I may transition to get to a more interesting spot for you guys once we've done enough here to gather and do what we need. Actually, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do our crafting stuff. So we'll show you how to craft something for the first time as well. Pressing down the touchpad in the middle again. On the right side of the screen here, you'll see a crafting menu and a couple different items. You can use a D-pad to kind of move around to these pieces. There's our bedroll. It looks like we need branches and twine in order to make that bedroll. Well, the twine is actually easy to make. We have plant fiber, and we just need to use the plant fiber to craft into twine. So we can go ahead and do that. We'll make about 5 of them or so. That should do it for what we need. And then we're going to need branches. So we're going to have to continue on until we start seeing some branches. We might as well keep picking up plant fiber as we go. Want to get as much of this stuff as you possibly can. Kind of important when you're doing stuff. We can actually go ahead and probably clothe ourselves as well if you want to. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and craft ourselves some of the clothing. When you craft this stuff, as it gets crafted and finishes and completes, it will auto-equip for the first time. So then you get your journey step completed for clothe yourself. That's done, so we're not going to continue to move on here. We'll grab some more fiber because we're going to need it to make our bedroll as well. And you can see that we're starting to gain all of our pieces here, and it looks like we've got everything we need as far as our clothing goes, or at least our first clothing anyway. We're going to get ahead and move up a little bit here quickly. If you notice, I started running all of a sudden. I started sprinting. In order to do that, you're going to press the L stick down while you're moving forward, and that makes you run. We're going to go ahead and pick up these branches though as well, clicking the the square key in order to interact with those to pick them up. So press down the L3 or the joystick, left joystick, and you will be able to sprint. I'm going to pick up some more branches here along our way. We need as many branches as we possibly can get. Again, picking up as much as you can here along the way. You're going to need all of this stuff. It'll be easier to harvest stuff as you go and build better tools and weapons. But right now we're going to go ahead and craft our bedroll. That is next. We're going to have to use that. And in order to use that, it's going to go into our wheel here. You're going to have to drop it down on the ground. This gets a little tricky in this area. You can't really drop it down here right away. So we're going to have to find a place that we can put it. It says invalid building location. So I mean, you can kind of continue going on until you find something. We're going to go ahead and go through this part here. There's a little friend of ours. It's a bat. We can't fight him, but he's kind of spooked off by us anyway, so we're not really too worried about that. But you want to come up here, and you want to come into here, and there's a guy who's kind of getting eaten up by stuff. But there's a journal here. you want to read that as well. And again, some more monologue for you, but it is experience points, and you want to do all of those as you go along for the game. So very important stuff there. All right, folks. So now we're getting up closer to a area where we're getting out of the beginner zone. To look at your map, you can hit the right side of the D-pad, and it'll bring up the map for you. You can kind of see where we are. This is where we started. This is where we kind of ran through. There's your player. We're coming up into this area where you have the main river or the main body of water for the beginning part of the game. This is kind of breaks up or kind of separates the beginners area, which this is kind of the beginners area right along here, right? Getting into here gets into the next level for you guys, and it's not imperative that you stay out of that. I mean, I've gone up into the way north at the very beginning when I'm like a level 2 or 3, just kind of running up there quickly to find my spot that I want to build at. But we're going to kind of keep things local here as we get into stuff, and we're going to go ahead and do some more things. We should be able to lay down our bedroll soon, but I'm going to go ahead and craft up a tool, which is part of our journey steps. I'm going to craft the stone hatchet and then the stone pick, and we get the crafted tool journey step. So now we have slay and kick. Slay and kick is actually pretty easy. You see right there's an imp. We can go over this guy. We can beat him up with our fists if we want. Right attack and then special attack right there. We can also kick by pushing the L2 key will kick. That'll give us a journey step right there. There's the kick. We did that. Next is dodge, which is super easy as well. That's just hitting the circle key. The circle button, dodge, makes you roll. And we get the journey step for that. So you can see that doing the journey steps here to begin the game are super easy. If we stop and take a look quickly and see where we're at, you can see we're level 5 already. So if you look at the top right side of the screen here, you'll see the level 5. Available points is 5. This is your knowledge points. This gets us into learning the different things that you can craft and opening your crafting menu. So we're going to want to definitely do construction. So we're going to put a point into that. We're going to gain a level for doing that because that's experience. And we're going to be able to construct the wooden box. We get some knowledge points spent. That's another journey as well. We're going to also do points into the campfire. These are important pieces, as well as doing a weapon too. So we'll do the stone sword. We'll learn that one as well using our stuff there. So now we're way up here. Our levels is 6. Our attributes now we have 4 points. We're going to dump a couple more into encumbrance. We'll put 1 to agility and 1 to strength. It's just to kind of keep things balanced as we go along here. We do want a little bit of strength as we're going to fight some of these guys here. So we're just going to kind of up to this guy, and we got to beat him up. So we're just going to kind of punch him a little bit here. We're going to try to use our special moves as well. He's taking a couple hits to me, but we slay him. We take him down. So we get that journey step right there. You can kind of hit the square key to see if there's anything on him. He's not holding anything. He's just an imp and nothing much doing there. So now a couple more steps here. We have to do use our bedroll. So we'll see if we can drop it down here anywhere. Actually, yeah, we could drop it right there. So now we've gained a level, and we've gotten that journey step out of the way. Use a bedroll. So let's actually take a look at our journey. The left key on the D-pad, and you can see that the first chapter is completed. We've gotten everything here. We've also completed spend knowledge points in the second chapter. So now we have to do dedicated weapon, eat a filling meal, find shelter, perform a heavy finisher with a weapon, use a torch, scout an exile camp, store goods, create a home, and block an attack. So a couple of these here are actually going to be done as we go through here. We're going to actually find a place where we can kind of run through, find a nice little spot where we can start doing some work. We're going to definitely need some of this stuff here, branches and stuff like that. But let's show you using these tools. So if I use the hatchet, I can kind of come over and chop up trees. Hold down the R1. We've discovered the shattered bridge, which is just above us. We'll gain some wood here from doing this, and you gain branches as well. You can use the hatchet to do stone too, but you don't gain as much as if you use the stone pick. So stone pick will gain you a little bit more stone. You can see there on the right side, it gives you 3 as compared to 1 with the stone hatchet. So every tool definitely does a little bit more, or has its specializations at least for what it's used for to do stuff, right? Now we have a bunch of stone, we have a bunch of wood as well, and some branches. We can do some more stuff here. We're going to actually go in and make ourselves a stone sword. So we need a little more stone and some more twine. So let's go on down here. Let's craft about 10 more twine, so we have 12 total. We definitely need more stone, so let's go ahead and chop away some more stone here. Holding down the R2 key again, just kind of chopping around. Sometimes you got to get the hitbox just right. The hitbox is a little weird in Conan, but that's just part of the, part of the allure or the nuances of the game, which is not a terrible thing. So we're going to go ahead and pick up a few more branches here, and we're going to go ahead into here, pick up a few more branches, and this is a good area to kind of build your first little building and get a few more of your journey steps going before you really start to head north into the bigger areas of the game. I would say following the journey is kind of the biggest piece of all of this. Now we have a dedicated weapon, another piece of our journey completed, and we can go ahead and equip that weapon and use it to take on whatever we want at this point. And there's a few things that we can do. So we're going to go ahead now, and being that we spent some of those knowledge points on building, we can do a couple foundations here. I can only build one right now, and we're going to need a whole bunch of stone and stuff to kind of build the foundation and everything else to get ourselves a decent building going anyway. We're going to drop this down right now, and we're going to kind of get this rolling for ourselves. That'll be the beginning of our base right here. We're going to kind of leave it this spot, and we're going to build a little bit of a house here for ourselves to kind of get going. We're going to build another bedroll, and we're going to lay it down here. Important to note that when you do bedrolls, you can lay down a new bedroll, and you'll see there it updates your spawn point, and it also destroys your last one. So now this is my new spawn point. If I die, this is kind of where I'm going to pick up where I left off as far as the game goes once I turn the game off, right? So this is kind of where we're going to start from if I die, and this is also my new spawn point for anything else as well. So I think that's going to do it for this one here, folks. We'll kind of keep this one, like I said, first 20 minutes of gameplay for you on Conan Exiles. This is the PS4 version. If you guys have questions, leave them down below in the comments. If you have suggestions, if you like this video, leave a like, hit that thumbs up for me. Let me know you want more parts of this. I will try to bring them as quickly as possible and show you the differences for the PC version to the PS4 version. There's not a lot that goes on here that's different, but there's a lot of little things that I had to learn along the way that were slightly different in using the controls for the game. They're not so intuitive or readily findable of how to do certain things, but I'm more than happy to answer those questions. Just let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you for stopping by. I'll see you around the channel, and bye-bye now.